All right, you're back for more factorial punishment, are you? Brave choice, or maybe you're just procrastinating actual work. I get it. Factorials are less painful than replying to that backlog of emails. Anyway, buckle up, because today we dive into recursion, otherwise known as the pretentious hipster of computer science. Recursion is a fancy word computer scientists invented to make themselves sound smart at dinner parties. Basically, it's a function that calls itself. Think of recursion as the coding equivalent of looking into two mirrors facing each other and seeing infinite reflections. Fascinating at first, then quickly becoming a headache. In less poetic terms, recursion solves big problems by repeatedly breaking them into smaller, identical sub-problems. Eventually, you hit something so simple even your maths-phobic cousin could solve it. Then, you slowly rebuild the answer, climbing back out from the mathematical abyss you willingly threw yourself into. And before you start feeling impressed, know that recursion has only two real components, base cases. These are painfully obvious scenarios, like when the factorial of 1 just says, "It's 1, stop bothering me, recursive step." This part, annoyingly, just refers back to itself again and again until it finally decides to stop and use the base case. Simple, right? Except recursion loves drama. It can't help it. Recursion is maths with an arts degree. It thrives on self-referential angst. The factorial is recursion's soulmate. It's got a perfectly recursive definition built in. Factorial of 0 or 1? It's 1? Why? Because mathematicians decided, probably on a drunken night, that multiplying nothing equals 1. Factorial of anything larger? Multiply the number by the factorial of the number before it, and pray you eventually reach the base case without spiraling into mathematical despair. The factorial recursion aligns so perfectly with its mathematical definition, it's suspicious. It's like recursion bribed maths to make it look more useful. But joking aside, factorial recursion is a brilliant teaching tool because it illustrates clearly easy-to-spot base cases, the bottom rung of the recursion ladder, simple linear steps downward until reaching those cases, and it's guaranteed to end, no existential crises mid-calculation. So yes, factorial recursion may be annoying, but at least it won't keep you guessing forever. That's Fibonacci's job. Let's say you're desperate to calculate factorial of 4 recursively, because who isn't desperate for factorial of 4? The computer starts optimistically by calling factorial recursive of 4, but factorial refuses to answer straight away. It's dramatic like that. Instead, it demands factorial recursive of 3. Factorial recursive of 3 then insists on factorial recursive of 2, and predictably, factorial recursive of 2 begs for factorial recursive of 1. And finally, mercifully, factorial recursive of 1 hits the base case and simply returns 1, ending recursion's tantrum. Now we unwind all this self-inflicted drama. Factorial recursive of 1 equals 1, thank God. Factorial recursive of 2 equals 2 times 1 equals 2. Factorial recursive of 3 equals 3 times 2 equals 6. Factorial recursive of 4 equals 4 times 6 equals 24. And boom, your overly complicated, dramatic, and totally unnecessary recursive calculation is complete. Now let's talk about what's actually happening inside your computer during recursion. Imagine stacking plates on top of each other, only you're doing it blindfolded. And each plate is screaming, "I won't move until you put another plate on top." It's stressful for your computer, okay? Each recursive call adds a new plate, or stack frame if you're pretentious. Every frame holds its own parameters and return information. When the function finally reaches the base case, these plates start being removed one by one, from top to bottom. This is the infamous stack unwinding, or as your computer calls it, sweet relief. This whole stack thing is why recursion can cause something called a stack overflow. If you pile too many plates, calls, your computer crashes harder than your motivation after a performance review. As elegant as recursion is, it has limitations, like your best mate who insists they're just fine after 6 beers. Negative input. Factorials don't exist for negative numbers. Your recursive function, if not carefully coded, might attempt to run forever, leading to a meltdown that would make Chernobyl look trivial. Stack limitations. Deep recursion can overflow the stack. This usually happens with massive inputs. So if you're calculating factorial of 100,000 recursively, don't be surprised when your computer quietly weeps and dies on you. Different programming languages have different stack depths. Python might give up around 1,000 calls, Java or C++ could last longer, and languages like Scheme are weirdly optimistic thanks to fancy tricks like tail call optimization. But let's face it, if you're genuinely calculating factorial of 1 million recursively, you've got bigger problems. Despite my criticism, recursive factorial isn't too bad efficiency-wise. Time complexity, it's linear O of n. Each number calls exactly one smaller number. Space complexity, also linear because each call takes up stack space. It's not terrible. But here's the kicker. Iterative methods, like our dear friend the for loop, are linear time and constant space. So if you're stuck on a desert island with limited memory space and must calculate factorials, unlikely scenario admittedly, you'd be smarter choosing iteration. Recursion might impress fellow coders, but it's a bit like wearing a tuxedo to a barbecue, pointless showing off with unnecessary discomfort. Recursion might impress fellow coders, but it's a bit like wearing a tuxedo to a barbecue, pointless showing off with unnecessary discomfort. Teachers adore recursion, probably because they secretly enjoy torturing students, but honestly, recursion is educationally brilliant. It clearly illustrates base cases teaching the essential idea of defining when to stop, something your lecturer struggles with. Call stack mechanics, understanding exactly how computers manage function calls, recursive problem solving, showing students how to tackle seemingly complex problems with simple repeating structures. So yes, recursion is genuinely useful educationally, despite how much sarcasm I've just dumped on it. Consider it tough love. Recursion, our cartoon lecturer is having the time of their life explaining it, while the students, well, they look dramatically pained, but deep down, they secretly appreciate the beauty of it all. Still conscious? Here's some homework designed to frustrate you even more. Skip the base case, write a recursive factorial without a base case and witness firsthand the spectacular chaos of infinite recursion. Hint, your computer will hate you for this. Stack tracking, modify your factorial function to print every step of the call stack, watching the calls pile up like unpaid bills. Breaking limits, intentionally exceed the recursion limit on your programming platform and watch it throw a tantrum. Infinite recursion, the bane of every programmer's existence. Here we see a student, perhaps a bit too curious for their own good, deliberately causing an infinite loop. And, well, as you might expect, the computer is not amused. In fact, it's so frustrated it seems to be on the verge of a dramatic explosion. Nervous laughter ensues, but it's a lesson learned the hard way. Scene 8, recap intro, final, somewhat less bitter recap. Recursion elegantly defines factorial in mathematical terms. It creates a call stack which can overflow and crash if not handled properly. It's educationally excellent despite being memory inefficient. Iterative methods are generally better in practice, unless your goal is purely to impress or annoy others. Quick montage humorously summarizing these points. Coming up next, memoization, because computers deserve better. Next time we look at memoization, storing intermediate answers, preventing your computer from repeatedly doing the same calculations. Because let's face it, your poor computer has suffered enough.